commerce and money is controlled by small groups of families, and these are mainly either Asian royalty or European royalty, and then some American nouveau riches like the Rockefellers. That's the level where looking at what's in the corporate media, which is owned and controlled by these families. So unless you're fighting at that level, you're not going to win.
So you're like, they're like, oh, there's not enough toilet paper at Walmart, from coronavirus. I don't know. Give them New Zealand. That's what some royals are doing right now.
Basically, I mean, they're saying, like if all the flow of commerce, I mean, the United States has got so much debt that, if it was all cut off, they would have well, it's already happening. They had a catastrophic fall like the Soviet Union did, and people's standards of living plummeted. And then the families that own the U.S. kind of blinked and said, we'll do whatever you say, and suddenly stuff started flowing again. But what they did was treason to the American people, and they weren't consulted about this. They weren't, nobody asked the Americans, are you willing to pay twice as much for Chinese trinkets at Walmart in exchange for your independence? Or would you rather have us sell you out and with the RFID chips so that you can keep buying trinkets at Walmart at the same price,
Mm-hmm.
That's not out there.
I want to get to Klaus Schwab later on. One of your friends, David Will, said that the mass arrests are imminent.
I was meeting with this woman calling herself Met, and I put that article out on October 11th, where she was saying that she was working within the inner circle of the President of the United States, and that they were trying to do these mass arrests.
They're trying to do mass arrests at the Trump White House. Is that true?
I've been hearing about these mass arrests for more than a decade now, and but I wonder, why is it then that we're still seeing people like Osa and Mark Zuckerberg out there in public? And my answer seems to be that they replace these people, with lookalikes and with computer graphics, and so it's like a whack-a-mole situation. You arrest Pelosi, and then another one appears on TV the next day, And I know this. I actually talked to an assassin working for the Asian secret societies, who said that he personally killed his what he called Jewish handler, and a week later the same guy shows up again.
So
I don't know what to make of this, but if you look at Joe, for example, if you look at pictures from 20 years ago and from recently, look at the earlobes. You can see that there's at least two Joes out there.
He's got more hair. I don't know about you, Ben. I keep losing my hair year after year. But in 1992, he was straight bald. Now he's got hair.
Yeah. So we're dealing with some people who, for example, Pope Francis, he disappeared for 2 weeks. They had just all this hologram appearing at his window, and then suddenly we have a new Pope Francis telling everybody to wear masks. So we got to take the game to a higher level, and I'm all the evidence that I have forensically points to Switzerland.
One of your opponents is a guy called Leo Zagami, and before I get into his critique of your work, I want to tell the audience that Leo Zagami ate a baby for Satan. Don't listen to me say that. This is him saying that.
At a certain time, I saw my soul. I hope that God will grant me that I will be forgiven for what I did.
Now, what happens in the Illuminati by their own instruction is an ancient practice that was also done by the rabbis, in the most orthodox rabbis in since ancient times in Israel. And this is to create a fetus and sacrifices amongst the members of the congregation and eat this fetus.
Did he admit that to you when you saw him?
Yes, he said he ate a human fetus. But here's the thing, okay? I don't want to. I've been looking at what Mr. Zagami has been writing recently, and I don't disagree with a lot of it, what he's been saying recently. I mean, when he did come out to meet me, they did try to frame me. They tried to poison me. They did character assassination. They did all sorts of nasty things to me. But right now, these people seem to be saying stuff that I agree with. So I don't know if there's been some kind of change of heart among some of these people, or they're just playing. But I don't think that's where the problem lies anymore.
Well, I just want to play this clip. This is what he said. We had a whole podcast about Leo Zagami and the murder that he tried to commit on you. This is one clip I didn't use. This is what I want to play here.
And basically inventing stories of, oh, we're going to arrest everybody. Tomorrow the elite is going to be the Khazars, this and that. They will do this and they will do that and blah, blah, blah. It's all rubbish. No consistency.
So, do you have a response?
I think he's right. I mean, we've been hearing about these mass arrests for years and years and years, and yet we still see the same clowns on TV, you know, the same characters. I mean, we did get rid of a lot of them. We got rid of Pope Benedict, we got the Dutch royals, we got all sorts of people out of the way, and that's out there in public. I mean, Brzezinski, Zbigniew Brzezinski, David Rockefeller, a lot of these people are out and gone, but clearly we're dealing with a group that just, you know, you decapitate them and up pops a new head, or up pops the same head again. You know, so, and the other thing is, I don't think even if they arrested all the people in the United States that need to arrest, okay, they still got to deal with the rest of the world. So, I think we've underestimated the opposition we're dealing with.
I think so too. You know, one person I really respect in this information war of thumbing the scale is someone called Whitney Webb. Do you know Whitney Webb?
Not really. Clue me in, please.
She was on. She's lives in Argentina. I think she's the best South American journalist. She was on Tim Dillon's program, and she made me very paranoid because I've been very optimistic about the mass arrest. Whitney Webb told me something totally different that really freaked me out, and this is what she said.
Who do you think QAnon is? If you had to speculate as to who is QAnon or what is QAnon, I mean, we know it's some kind of troll operation at this point, you know? I mean, what do you think it is? Do you think there was any truth to it at any point, or was it always kind of trolling? I mean, it seems to be a bit, you know, it's clearly over the top and ridiculous. They also, you know, it's kind of like, you know, they keep stringing these desperate people along, that there's going to be some big event coming and nothing can stop what's happening and everyone's going to jail and just you wait and see and trust the plan and everything like that. What do you think this is?
I think it's a U.S. driven intelligence psyop, and I think basically the target of it is to have you know, a demographic that would normally be most vocal against perceived government tyranny, people on the right, gun owners, things like that, basically to have them completely docile, sitting there being like, yeah, we'll just trust the plan and it'll all work out. And even in some cases, you've had QAnon cheer on regime change in Iran, war with Iran, martial law being declared. Things like that, when these people before would have opposed those things. And it's worth pointing out that really the roadmap for QAnon was originally developed by an Obama advisor named Cass Sunstein, who now is advising the World Health Organization about its vaccine, global vaccine for COVID-19. But Cass Sunstein, during the Obama administration, he wrote about the need for the government to infiltrate conspiracy movements in order to reverse the general trend of conspiracy movements fostering a distrust in the government and to instead foster a love and trust of government. So then you pop up and it's, oh, we love Trump, we love the president, we love John Bolton, we love Sessions and all of these people who were obvious establishment swamp monsters, to use, you know, Trump vernacular or whatever. You know, put all your faith in people like that. When John Bolton is like the most insane, you know, like crazy neocon guy, and you're going to put your trust in him that he's going to end the wars, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's so amazing to watch these guys.
So what do you think? Is on a psyop to disenfranchise people?
I think that they mean well and they want to get the bad guys, but they're being misdirected to a certain extent. And I know that everybody's still hoping Trump's going to do the thing that do what needs to be done. But let's face it, when he was a candidate, he said, if I am elected president, you'll find out who did 9/11. Well, that didn't happen, and he kind of kowtows to the Zionists in Israel. So, I think we're going to need a real solution here, not a half-assed thing, and it's probably going to end up at that level. And I do talk to actual people in organizations like the CIA, MI6, FSB, not, stuff I read on the internet. I actually talk to these people, and there is a consensus that we need a genuine regime change, and it has to start at the highest levels. And, the battle is ongoing. It's sort of like they're on target, I would say, about 70%, but they're missing about 30%. It's my best guess.
Well, Whitney Webb has a different opinion. She says that it's controlled opposition. It's a Sunstein...
Sure, controlled opposition, but they still have to oppose to a certain extent. So it's sort of like, go after a few henchmen, but avoid the puppet masters type of thing. Yeah, so I agree with her.
Okay, well...
But they are going after henchmen. They can't avoid that. I mean, they can control the opposition, but they can't stop it. So they try to redirect it, but it's still opposition. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I just want to say she said a very specific thing. Cass Sunstein. Cass Sunstein is behind QAnon. I want to play a clip. Now, I spent so many hours of research to give you this clip. He's the most boring person in the world, Cass Sunstein. But I found a clip that sums up who he is and what he's all about.
Prime Minister Cameron in the UK had an early initiative to reduce tax delinquency in the UK, by which, and this was tested empirically, letters were sent to delinquent taxpayers notifying them that they were in a small group of people in their community who weren't paying their taxes on time, and that upped tax compliance quite significantly.
So he's a consultant. When people don't pay their taxes, he goes, send them a letter lying and saying, oh, your neighbors pay your taxes. You don't pay your taxes? Don't you want to keep up with the Joneses? So this is kind of some think tank guy. And Whitney Webb is making an alarming claim that this guy, he's going, oh, well, you don't want to be a patriot? You could be a patriot by arresting everybody. That's kind of alarming, how deep this goes, if that's true.